Hey Kris, long time no see. I think maybe 20 years. Long time. So it's crazy to me that so much time has gone by. I think the last time we saw each other was for like lunch at that Mexican restaurant down in Oregon City. It's probably 20 years ago. So the first thing I want to say is this is a very clever way of getting out of singing "My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys" at my funeral. I should have gotten recording of you singing it sometime. And even though I know country music was not your favorite, in fact I don't know as you ever liked or listened to it, but you had an amazing voice, and that was my favorite song, so I figured you can't go wrong if you put the two together. Anyways, that'd be awesome. So in spite of it being almost 20 years since we've seen each other, just want you to know I still have a lot of good memories. A lot of good memories of you. I remember Boy Scout campouts, hiking for miles and miles and stuff like that, spending a night at your house, listening to the Beach Boys, Sunday school class with the four of us, the four Musketeers. It'd be like me, you, Rich Fur, and Julie Kerr. And just week after week for all those years growing up, those are good memories to me. And cleaning out the rabbit cages at your house. And I'm still going to go on the record as saying I think you skipped that one that was super full and up high, making me have to pull it out and pour the poop and stuff on me. So, anyways, but good memories. And I also remember that one date. You remember when I think Laprelle White had just come to town, and so you and me and Laprelle and Lisa Boyce or Julie Kerr, I don't know who the fourth one was, but remember that cop pulled us over? And because my muffler was dragging, we were going to a movie, and the cop pulled us over, and I'd lost my wallet, so I didn't have my license, and he had me get out of the car, asked me some questions, and apparently it didn't check out. So then he puts me in cuffs, and he puts me in the back of his car, and then he goes up to the front window and asks Laprelle, "So what's this guy's last name?" And she says, "I don't know." She just barely moved to town. "Where does he live?" "I don't know." "What's his parents' names?" "I don't know." So I imagine I probably have you to thank for keeping me out of jail by leaning forward and stepping in and say, look, I know this guy, and he gave him all the information and stuff. It was before cell phones, so it's not like people could have called my folks to get the answers, and they were out of town. But even that, I think, is a fun memory. So I suppose I have you to thank for keeping me out of jail. First time in cuffs. So far, haven't been to jail yet, so it's all good. So every once in a while, I write to friends and mentors, people who put a lot more time into me than I deserve, at what I call my lighthouse letters. I call them that, I guess, because they're kind of like a lighthouse. You might watch it from afar, not standing there close to it, and yet it helps to triangulate yourself, see where you are in that sea of life, and kind of keep your own bearings and directions like that. So you have been like that for me. So I've got other memories of you, things that I really wasn't a part of. You were very talented, so engaged in music, drama, the school plays, walking your own path, even doing that, going out to Washington, D.C. and being a page for like a semester, I think it was. Things that were really like out of the norm. For me, they were out of the norm. But didn't bother you at all. And what I saw and still see is someone who is kind, gentle. I don't remember any mean things coming from you. I remember mean things coming from me, but I don't remember any mean things coming out of your mouth. I remember a lot of very, very clever things you are very, very clever with words, and your mind is sharp wit, but I don't remember mean things coming from you. And you were someone who had an iron backbone, going your own way, regardless of what anyone else thought. In fact, especially if others thought differently than you, just still, doing your own thing. And I admired that a lot. In fact, I think it allowed you to get even more from life. Some of us, it might take us twice as long to get as much as you got from life. Just really, really engaging and just exploring the world. I mean, I'm referring kind of the world of high school where we knew each other, but I see from other things you've been out and about around the world, and just whether it's in your hometown or whether it's in England, I think some of your posts were and stuff, you just really, really engaged the life, and I admire that a lot. So since it's been probably 20 years, it's so crazy to me that time's flying so fast, but since it's been probably 20 years, except for brief stints on Facebook, I don't really have the right to take up a lot more of your time and stuff, but I just wanted to say this. When my son was born, 26 years ago, but or 24, anyways, he was 3 months early. Didn't know if he'd live or die. And I remember kneeling down and praying and saying, Heavenly Father, you can have him back if you want him, if you need him. If you leave him, that'd be great. If you take him, that's fine. I just wanted to know that he was loved. And then I remember a few years ago, again, I guess time's flying, because it was actually 15 years ago now, that my brother, maybe 20, but my brother Greg, my youngest brother Greg, you might remember him, blonde hair, but he was killed in a motorcycle accident. And I remember thinking the same thing, did he know that I loved him? And I think he did. But, did he know that I loved him? For me, that was the most important thing. And so that's the same thing that I hope for you, Kris. I hope you know that you have been admired and respected, whether up close or from afar, by me, by many actually. I know a lot of people admired and respected you, but they're going to have to speak for themselves. I'm just speaking for me here today. I hope you know that you have been and will always be one of my lighthouses, helping me to chart a clear course in my own life for the rest of my life. And I want you to know that I love you, and that I will always be your friend, Kris.